want to bring safety to our cities. We want to bring safety. We've got to get the criminals out, and we're doing it in record numbers.
On that score, President Trump is riding high as crime in major cities hits new lows. A new report finds violent crime rates down by double digits in multiple cities from the same period last year. The administration credits its crackdown on criminal immigrants, but some Democrat mayors disagree. Let's bring in retired FBI supervisory special agent Jason Pack. So what do you think, Jason? Is this a case of, crime just being down generally, or does it have to do with the crackdown at the southern border?
Good afternoon, Mr. Scott. I think a lot of people look at these reports through a political lens. I live here in Tennessee. We like to look at things through more of a common sense lens. After 20 years in the FBI, I can tell you that anytime you take violent criminals off the street, you make communities safer. So that's just common sense. That's not political. So I think that's what this report is reflective of. Certainly the immigration enforcement is part of that formula that has led to these drops in the crime rates, as you've seen.
Yeah, and just the number of people coming across the border, criminal or not, has drastically been reduced. Take a look at the numbers going back to 2022. 208,000 almost came across the southern border in 2022, 144,000 in 2023, then 130,000 last year. This year, we're looking at 9,306. Now, again, these are not all people who are coming here to commit crimes, but if you reduce the overall number, you're certainly going to reduce the number of bad people who are coming across the border.
That's exactly right. And I think, to be fair, the survey itself said that they weren't crediting one specific enforcement action for the drop in crime. But clearly, as we talked about common sense, it's this combination of the immigration enforcement targeting the most violent, the worst of the worst, as they say, but also these targeted violent crime enforcements through other agencies like the FBI and their Operation Summer Heat. We've heard a little bit about that. That's going on around the country right now. They're partnering with state and locals. They're reducing the violent crimes in their communities as well. So you take all that together and you see this dramatic shift. I've seen that when policies and policing come together and agents and officers feel empowered to enforce these laws and where there's real consequences, you see these types of results.
The ICE arrests that have been made under President Trump predominantly involve criminal aliens, illegal aliens with criminal convictions or pending charges. 70% of those arrested by ICE fit into that category. So again, if you're getting those bad people off the street, you're taking care of an awful lot of the crime and potential crime.
That's right, Mr. Scott. And really, when you talk about percentages and numbers, that really translates into people. That's one less mom that doesn't have to lose a son at the hand of a criminal. That's one less person that doesn't get carjacked, a trip to the ER, or God forbid, a child who gets in the way of a stray bullet. So these types of enforcement efforts are really important to keeping our community safe out there.
Yeah, I remember, from the bad old days in New York City back in the late 80s and early 90s, prior to Rudy Giuliani, the statistic was that 10% of the criminals were committing 90% of the crimes in this city. So if you round up those 10%, you can get rid of an awful lot of the troubles. And Rudy Giuliani came into office and did that. Is that the same kind of number that you're seeing here?
I think that is true. And that what the limitations of this study are, though, it's just 42 of the largest cities in the United States or so. I think Tuesday, the FBI's Uniform Crime Report will be coming out with numbers from all across the United States, both rural and more urban areas. So they may give us a better picture of exactly what's kind of going on in the United States. I think definitely you're headed in the right direction. You just need to keep that detailed enforcement of the worst, and you'll see a continued drop in the numbers.
And you mentioned rural as well as urban areas, and some of these kinds of crimes have been affecting the rural areas, right?
Certainly, you're piecing the last block here in Tennessee where I live. There's the manhunt underway in Montana. So yeah, rural communities are no stranger to violent crime as well. So we've seen this here in Tennessee too, and other places in the country where the partnerships between state and local officers. The FBI has these violent crime task forces, which are comprised of state and local officers out there in the communities working. The local officers know the worst of the worst, and so they're teaming up with the feds. And if their federal charges are more stringent than the state charges, they'll apply those there. So I think it's really a good partnership and an important team to be able to keep communities safe out there.
Yeah, and let's hope the arrests of the bad guys keep rolling in. Jason Pack, former FBI agent, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.